What's up guys, Ian Higton from Eurogamer here. Now if you live in the UK like me, you'll still have 2 days to wait before you can get your hands on Battlefield 4 and its incredible multiplayer. In yesterday's official Eurogamer.net review, Dan Whitehead gave the game 8 out of 10, and today he's done a write-up of all the available theatres of war, which you can read by following the link in the video description. I picked 5 of those multiplayer maps to show off to you today, so you can see exactly what fields you will be battling in once you get your hands on the game, and hopefully you'll learn some tricks of the trade to dominate your opponents as well. A derelict factory complex is the setting for this map, Zavod 311, which is large without covering many open spaces. There's junk everywhere, not to mention ample foliage cover, making it one of the few sizable maps where infantry can get from one end to the other without being too exposed. Workers' Habitation offers your first hotspot, just to the east of the map's centre. The capture point here is surrounded by 2-storey homes, but the cover they provide quickly falls apart as the buildings take damage. At the opposite end of the map, butting right up against its western perimeter, a cluster of railroad cars hides one of the trickiest points to hold, surrounded as it is by multiple angles of attack and few long lines of sight. Sneaky players can even hide in the boxcars, closing the doors to stay out of view. It's the 2 enormous factory buildings in the middle of the map that attract all of the attention generally. At ground level they offer dingy arenas where capture points are fiercely contested. Head for the various ladders bolted to the outside walls however, and the map's strategy deepens. There are several rooftop levels, all of which provide that sort of aerial advantage that can turn the tide of a match, but also provide no cover at all. Maintaining a useful force of spotters, snipers and anti-air troops on these rooftops is the best way to dominate here. Flood Zone will be a popular map, if only because it offers perhaps the most unmistakable example of what Levolution can do. It's a large urban space with a park to the east and the capture point there nestled in the middle of small hills. Across from there is the on-ramp to an elevated freeway, on the other side of which is a gas station. To the west, the map offers many 4 or 5-storey structures and a sprawling shantytown sprouting across the rooftops. In the middle, a car park offers a dangerously exposed capture point. It's a wet map with ankle-deep water all over, as if you're fighting in the aftermath of a monsoon. At the north of the map, just down from the gas station, is the levee, which offers the Levolution feature that gives Flood Zone its name. Destroy the levee and the water pours in, rising almost 1 storey high and changing the nature of the battle completely. Land vehicles become useless, unless you can get one onto the freeway, which offers a long straight shooting gallery over the rest of the map. But boats and amphibious vehicles become vital, allowing for incredibly quick movement around spaces that were previously dry land. This isn't a map where you want to be caught on foot however. Once the flood hits, any infantry not above the water level in the shantytown are easy prey to the miniguns of rib boats or helicopters as they swim slowly from place to place. Battlefield 4 makes water a key feature, promoting sea vehicles from half-hearted addition to tactical necessity. Nowhere is this more clear than on Paracel's Storm, a tropical map with vast expanses of open water and clusters of sporadic landmasses to the east. It's a map that demands shrewd dominance of the waves to keep the enemy on the back foot. One of the capture points, often overlooked in the rush to get to the familiarity of land, is found on a wrecked battleship, where the exposed deck is great for taking down incoming boats and choppers, but equally leaves those doing the capturing open to attack from above. Other fun capture points spread across the derelict military base include one in an abandoned firebase, where concrete trenches are perfect for shotgun fanatics, a barracks, and at the very end of the map, a dockside area where infantry and boats can go head to head. The more fiendishly inclined player can shoot out some of the wind turbines out to sea and set a ship adrift, which then crashes into the mainland. The key feature here though is the storm of the title, which brews and breaks with uncanny realism. The subtle shifts in light as the skies darken, the first spatters of rain as the heavens open, are just the overture to a truly fearsome tempest which impacts everything from boat handling to simple visibility. It's suitably apocalyptic and shows that DICE is thinking about more than just making buildings fall down. As an early favourite, Golmund Railway is a battlefield map par excellence. Broad and dotted with small hills, it slopes gently upwards to the north, where small villages and farms supply the capture points in a line almost down the centre of the map. Combat here offers something for everyone, with ground troops essential for taking control of the cramped building clusters, land vehicles vital for covering the vast open spaces, and air cover proving decisive with so little cover to be found. Where cover is available, it's in the large warehouses at the south of the map. These don't stand up to much heavy punishment, but offer the most comprehensive places to hide from attack choppers and gunships. The most interesting feature is the armoured train that carries Capture Point D. The train automatically moves towards the deployment zone of the controlling side, giving them the advantage when it comes to holding the point. Mostly Golmund Railway works because it's the sort of huge, flexible space that plays well regardless of what class you prefer and what vehicles you favour. The result is some of the best action in the game, with aerial dogfights and ground skirmishes all over the place. If any map showcases how well DICE's map design scales to suit the mode being played, it's Lankang Dam. Like Siege of Shanghai, this is another U-shaped map, this time set at the base of the titular dam. There are two main clusters of buildings, either of which would make for a fine map in a smaller scale shooter. To the west there's a power station full of dark corners and explosive canisters, to the east a research station made up of multiple offices, all offering useful views over the external action, but very exposed thanks to their plate glass windows. In between is a small chasm with the runoff from the dam, and a small network of roads that make good use of the land vehicles on offer. Played on Conquest, all of this space is in play, and with a full 64-player lobby, you can pretty much fill the map with meaningful action. Narrow the focus down to Deathmatch, a popular choice for this map, and everything centres around that Rabbit Warren research station. The Levolution feature is as obvious as it is impressive. Land enough heavy impacts on the already crumbling dam and it collapses completely, burying the northernmost edge of the map in rubble and triggering explosions as systems fail across the complex. It's not the most useful demolition in the game. Destroying the dam takes a little too long and requires you to focus on shooting a wall at the cost of watching out for your own back, but it is one of the ones you'll want to show off when your friends play for the first time. Thanks for watching, y'all. Remember, you can get a summary of all of Battlefield 4's maps by visiting Dan's article, which I've linked to in the video description. I'll be doing plenty of Battlefield 4 community multiplayer streams on this generation of consoles and the next, so please do subscribe by clicking on that on-screen annotation if you fancy jumping online and shooting me in the face. Oscar Uniform Tango.